Hey everybody, it's Chris here from KMGB Consulting, and getting a lot of questions about when you're looking at properties in the States, is there sort of a quick and simple way to check a property before you get too deeply involved with due diligence? And the answer is absolutely yes. So there is what I call a rough screening of U.S. properties, and very simply, you can go to this quick little website. I know a lot of you are familiar with it, but for those of you that aren't, here it is. It's just www.zillow, like willow.com. And I'll go through a quick little scenario with you. The fun part is this is a property that I actually bought back when, well, maybe not that too long ago, but back when things were starting to change in the States. So real simple, you go to Zillow, and this is the first screen you see. And for whatever reason, this is it comes up. I guess I've been on it enough. It's coming up with property that I own in Daytona Beach. You can see that I picked it up there for $25,000 back in 2010. And the first thing you need to do is you put in the location, the state, and what I find, you don't need to put in the zip code, and you can just type that in. And this is the one we'll talk about, 4720 Walden Circle, and it's Unit 23. You need to put in commas, and in this case it's Florida, and then you click on search, and this is the next screen you see. You know you've done it right if this little piece comes up here and it tells you the searching the property that you searched, and then you just click on that, and then this is the next thing you see. So you can see here the property I purchased was back in 2011, an unbelievable price, $15,500. When you compare that to anything here in Canada, it's unbelievable. You can't even buy a garage. I'm sitting here looking out at the lake right now, but you can't even buy a garage or a parking spot down here for the same prices that you're buying for a condo. Note the size. It's a little over 1,000 square feet. It's a 2-bedroom, 2-bath, and it's forced air, bought for $15,500 in April 2011. I want you to remember that 2011 because that'll come up a little bit later. When you start to scroll down, you can see different pieces, and they give you a tremendous amount of information. And so as you scroll down, you can get a graphical look, in this case from December 2003 up until about December 2011. And it shows you graphically what's happening in the area, what's happening in particular to this unit itself, and it shows you up here. So the little green cash signs are showing where the house, or in this case a condo, was purchased or where it has been bought and sold. You can see up here that this, and they've rounded it off, but it's showing $16,000, and that's where I purchased it back in April 2011. You can see too I did extremely well because I picked it up pretty well, if not at the bottom, very close. And you can see that the area is trending upward nicely. And we've seen in the Orlando area specifically maybe a 10 to 12% increase in the last couple of years. So again too, you can move along the graph and see different prices, and we'll go through a couple of scenarios right now. You can go back and you'll see on some of these where the actual property has been bought and sold. You can see back, and it'll show you right here the date. In June 2011, this property actually sold for $199,000 back about 4 years ago from when I purchased it. Again, too, you can see the difference, and you can see the change in value and how the market really dropped between 2000 and sort of 8-ish, right through until around 2011. Moving forward, you can also see how this condo trended over the number of years. This is the peak price. So the house, or the condo was actually valued at $245,000, in back around November 2008, where that's sort of where the peak of the market before we started to see some heavy decline. Okay, scrolling down further, you can see visually they write it down. This is actual public records. You can see where I purchased it for $15,500 back in 2011. You can see that it was up and listed in 2010, and then it's pulled and then put back on the market. And you can see back in 2007 where it was actually purchased for $199,000. Scrolling further down, they give you a nice aerial view of the community. This is always nice. You can see quickly what other places are being sold for. As you can see, and they're denoted different colors, mean they're for sale or they're pending or they've been sold. You can zoom in and out and take a good look at the area. Is it close to main throughways, interstates? You'll find down in the States that most people living there want to be close to an interstate so they can get, to work very quickly. Further scrolling, you can see the taxes. You can see again too, the taxes have come way down from a peak of about $3,000 in 2007 to about $880 in 2011. Again too, the taxes are a little different than what we see in Canada. Down there, the taxes are reviewed based on the price that the property is valued at, and it basically can change the price very quickly. So you have to note that when you're doing your calculations. Further down, you can see units that have sold in the building. I'm going to bring your attention to the number 13 here, because it is exactly the same condo that I purchased in April 2011. So if you just click on that, this is what you see. So in August 2012, the same condo sold for $66,400. It's a 2-bedroom, 2-bath. You can see it's in the same complex, 120 square feet. So about 8 months after I bought this, the properties were selling for $66,400. This makes it real simple. If you're interested at this point, it makes sense. The numbers look interesting. It's already set up, and you can click on this, fill out your information, name, phone, and email. And you can click on the different real estate agents, and you can get yourself some more information. Is the property available? Are there other properties in the neighborhood that make sense? And what I suggest is that you try to pick someone with some reviews. It means they've been around for a little while, and typically they're a little bit more of a veteran in the real estate side and can usually help you out more. Anyway, so the rough math on this is really exciting. I bought the place for $15,500. Place was a little rough inside. Did $9,500 worth of renovation. The one thing that's usually shocking is what $9,500 gets you in renovations. For me, it meant a new kitchen, new bathroom, cabinets, tiling, paint, flooring. It's unbelievable. It was about a 4.5-week renovation, $9,500 out of my pocket. Total invested $25,000. Rental income currently is $850 on a monthly basis. The condo fees, which are known down there as HOA, or Home Ownership Association, is $300 a month. Property management fees are 10% of the gross rent, which is $85. The property taxes, as you saw before, were $75 a month, or $880 a year. And the property insurance on this particular one is $50. That just covers the inside. The HOA or condo fees cover all of the maintenance and anything that happens on the outside. What does that mean? If you do the rough math, the ROI, you take your net income, you multiply it by 12 to give you an annual income. You divide it by the purchase price, which includes your renovations. In this case, it's $25,000. And then to turn it into a percentage, you multiply that by 100%. It's saying right now that this is giving you, and this is the key, it's a net ROI of 16%. But the better rough math, as I showed you, there was the same unit sold for $66,000 in August 2012. I have not sold this. I am a proponent of buy and hold, but just on an interesting sort of perspective, let's take a quick look. If I was to sell it, I've got a $66,000 sale price. I'm into it for $25,000. So commissions, if I went to a realtor, and legal fees, I've actually bumped them up. It would be less than that, but I put that in anyway to make the numbers even. It gives me a $35,000 profit or capital gain on this in a 16-month period. The net rental income over that 16 months was $340 per month, as we saw before. And the net rental income for 16 months would just be the $340 times 16, which gives you $5,440. ROI now, when you include the sale of this and the appreciation that you would have got, is you take your net monthly income for the 16-month period, which is $5,440, plus the profits that you made, in this case $35,000 in the 16-month period. You divide that all by the purchase price, which was $25,000, which was the price I paid plus the $9,500 in renovations. You multiply that by 12, but you divide it by 16 because you've made this money over a 16-month period, and you want to see what your annual rate of return was. Again, too, you multiply it by 100%, gives it to you in a percentage, and lo and behold, that's 121% return, a ridiculous rate of return over a short period of time. I am a proponent, as you know, of the buy and hold, but sometimes the quick flip can make a lot of sense, especially in this case. However, you'll see why I'm a buy and hold on this particular property. And why I'm a buy and hold is because I've bought one of these for my two children, Kiara on the left and Alexa on the right. And pretty interesting, an 11 and 13-year-old that own a condo. And at the end of the day, I'm hoping down the road that I get to hear this from them. And that's, thanks, Dad, for helping us out. Anyway, next week or the next time, we're going to talk a little bit about what and how you pick and why you should have a property manager working with your properties down there. And this is what I just recently got. An email that just said, please be advised that a large alligator reaching approximately 6 feet in length was seen on our property. Please see the guidelines. And it nicely sent me what the alligator looks like on the property. So I don't know about you, but I certainly don't want to be dealing with things like that, and I'd rather let someone down in the States who knows about alligators and deal with that. So we'll talk a little bit about that. And listen, thanks a lot for joining us. If you have any questions, as you know, leave us your questions, comments, and if there's any other things that you guys are interested, please put that on and we'll work something out and get that on the next time. Thanks for listening.